welcome back again. My name is Wendy, your Magandita. If you are new here, my channel is all about the lifestyle vlog here in Portugal and also sharing some information or tips on how to live here in Portugal as an immigrant or as a foreign. So if you want to know anything about here in Portugal, about the life, how to live here, to be, something or informative about Portugal, you might consider to like this video, subscribe, and smash that bell notification again so you will never miss any vlog and tips like this with Magandita. So for today's video, I will be sharing with you something about my first impressions when I reach here in Portugal. Few weeks or few days when I landed here in Portugal, I had some impressions that I had in Portugal. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Before anything else, if you don't know me, I came from Qatar. I came from Middle East, and right now I am already almost 3 years here in Portugal, and I think it's kind of fun also to share some impressions that I had when I landed here in Portugal. So the first impressions I would like to share is about the food. The food, I noticed it's really huge, the serving, especially in the restaurants that had huge servings of food, and I love it. And of course, the food are so yummy. I cannot, it's undeniable. To be honest, I gain weight when I land Portugal. I get fat, and I'm not saying I'm really fit, but I gain some weight, and because of the food, I cannot stop eating many things, the pastries, the breads, a lot of things. Especially the first thing I eat when I come here in Portugal, of course, bacalhau and the pork, because you all know there's no pork in Qatar. So I was dying to eat pork, the chorizo, many things, the bacons. I eat all of it when I reach here in Portugal, and it's the best. So that's my first impression about the food. The second impression is the street, especially the bricks. The formation is really beautiful, and I can say that it's not so comfortable when you're walking. That's why I truly advise you, when you're going to Lisbon, to wear a comfortable shoes if you want to tour in Lisbon, because the bricks is not so comfortable to walk, but it is really beautiful. I love the details of each street. It's really amazing. I love how they preserve it. And the next impressions that I had is the wines are everywhere. Again, wines, alcohol is not available in Qatar. So again, I bought not so many bottles, but I taste many wines when I reach here, and it's amazing. So wines, it's like a water, here. Maybe, and it's so cheap, the wine here. I can't believe it's just in €2 you're gonna buy a bottle of wine already. You know how much is it? I always brag this to my family, to my parents, that wines and alcohols here are so cheap, and it's amazing because we are not producing wines in Philippines, so it's kind of expensive in Philippines, the wines and also some alcohol. So the wine here, it's everywhere, and it's perfect. And of course, another thing that I noticed is the graffiti, or we call it vandalism. When you hear vandalism, you will think it's bad, it's ugly or something. But here in Portugal, the graffiti, it's perfect. It's really, because personally I do love art. There's so many graffiti here in Portugal, and Picoas especially, there's so many buildings there with huge graffiti, and also in some subway station and the train station and also many buildings. There's so many graffiti and it's so beautiful. The talent, the Portuguese artist is really talented. I love the paintings, the graffiti outside in the buildings or somewhere. Actually everywhere there are many things you can see in graffiti, and it's amazing because I'm so addicted to art. I really admire art actually, because I also love to paint. If you don't know, I do also painting, so I really appreciate the art. And another thing is coffee shops are everywhere here in Portugal and Lisbon. You know, if I go out here in my home, there's one there, there is on the left side, there is on the right side, it's everywhere. So because Portuguese people, they love coffee. If I'm not mistaken, coffee is like life to Portuguese people. And I learned with this, with the Portuguese people, with my boyfriend, with his friends. I learned that after eat, there's always a coffee. More on coffee than tea actually, and I adopted it. So after having a meal, coffee is always a must. And there is a weird thing. Only here I can see that even it's like late night or after dinner, they're gonna have a coffee. But maybe this is really in their blood that they love coffee. And for me, I do also love, but of course I have to make it like this caffeinado, because if I will take a strong coffee after the dinner, I will not be able to sleep and it's gonna be a mess. So that's another thing. Coffee shops here in Portugal is everywhere. Really. In one street, you will always find even a small coffee shop. That's true. And by the way, I love it because I am also a coffeeholic. And another thing is breads. When I talk about breads, it's the most amazing bread that I ever taste in my life. It's here in Portugal. I'm not saying I'm so bad in my country, but in Philippines, in my country, the bread is not like this here in Portugal. Because in my country, more on like air inside. But here, it's full of, it's really sticking it, every flavor as a whole bread. It's so tasty. And I'm so addicted to bread here. That's one of the reasons why I gain weight. I cannot stop eating bread and pastries. It's amazing. The good thing is it's so affordable and it's so yummy, the bread here in Portugal. And another thing, call me weird, but I can say I'm really weird. Yeah, maybe. Because another thing, my first impression here in Portugal is fruits. The trees are everywhere. Me as a Filipino, we don't have a trees, orange trees or lemon trees on the street. Here, I can find, when I land here like January, it's a season of orange. There's so many orange on the street. And I said, how can it be if it's in the Philippines? Nothing will remain on the tree with that orange, you know? And here it's everywhere. The lime, the lemon, and it's amazing. But honestly, recently I stole, but because it's just on the street, but I tried and it's really great. I never saw a tree of orange in my whole life, only here. And one more thing, the most interesting, because I love figs, or they call it figos. I never tried to eat a fresh figs, only dried fish I'm eating when I was in Qatar, when I was in Kuwait. I am always eating only the dried one. And when I reached here in Portugal, I saw the fresh figs and it's so good. And it's so amazing. The most interesting thing is I saw a figs tree on the street. Can you believe it? And there is a real figs. And I was so happy. I was saying to my boyfriend, is this a fig? Because it looks like a fig. And he said yes. Oh my god, I got crazy. He said, I never saw a fig tree in my whole life. And I was so happy. But the bad thing is it's not red. It's not yet ripe, or it's still green, the figs. But if it's really ready, I'm gonna really pick it up, because it's there already. The experience, the moment. Don't call me crazy, but it's like a fulfillment. My happiness is somehow it's kinda low in that moment, because I feel like a kid. It's so excitement. So okay, and also, of course, the groceries, the fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, and the groceries are extremely cheap. I love it, especially the fruits that's really native from here in Portugal. It's amazing. And I was so amazed because I'm budgeting only like 150 euro for my food in a month. Living alone, it's really great already. Eating a fresh fruits and vegetables here, it's really an advantage in Portugal. And that's really part of my impressions, because I love to eat anyway. And another impressions, coming from a Middle East, somehow Middle East in Qatar is kind of sacred or something. You're not gonna see any PDA, public display of affections. We can say they're kissing, that it's not allowed to see their kissing or hugging in the Middle East in Qatar. So my first impression here, I was kind of somehow culture shock, because I see many people kissing or hugging or something, making out in the public places, and for some seconds sometimes I'm thinking, yes, I'm in Portugal. I thought I'm in Qatar. It's just a simple impressions, or somehow I got used to it after some weeks. Okay, so it's normal. I'm in a completely free country. So that's another thing. And of course, the last but not the least, one of my first impressions in Portugal are the view. I am so in love with the view here, and especially in Lisbon. It's amazing. The cities, the authenticity of each view, the old buildings, the infrastructures. It's really amazing. I just used to paint those things. I just used to dream about it, to see those things, to travel, to see those view, and I'm here. The view, it's always satisfying to see here in Lisbon. Getting lost, sometimes you can find something interesting. So get lost in Lisbon. That one of my advice, especially in Alfama. It's amazing, the view overlooking all, especially in the Tagus River. It's really great. So that's another thing, the view. It's satisfying. So those are my first impressions here in Portugal when I land here in Portugal. If you're planning to come here in Portugal, you might see these impressions also, and I hope this can help you to guide you with this information. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions or suggestions about this video, about the topic here in Portugal, about the things, if you can suggest me what I should post on the next video, shoot me now in the comment below. So I will see you again on my next vlog. Bye. Adios.